Hi, travelers. Tara here. I'm going to be bringing you an open reading, a brief one. Website members, I am working on the November reading. Some of you will discover once they're uploaded that I'm saying December, but they please know that they are for November, not December, okay? I don't know why I kept saying December, but I was. But anyway, we have I want to say tomorrow. Hold on, I'm going to take a quick look if I can. Well, I can't, and my computer's not acting right, my bottom screen here. We have Mercury going, oh, well, doesn't matter because I have it on my phone. Hold on. Let me pull up we want to do today's current transits. I want to change this over to the zero Aries because you guys know that I look at the zero Aries because it follows the natural zodiac. And what I mean by that is that when you look at the horoscopes or you look at quote unquote the seasons, we start with Aries and Taurus, then Gemini. Each season, there's 4 seasons, 3 months long. So it follows the natural progression of the way the seasons are. So right now we have in the sign of Scorpio, we have Venus conjunct Mercury in the sign of Scorpio. And on, let me advance this 1 second, because Mercury will be stationing retrograde here, I think on the 29th. And then on the 30th, it will go retrograde in the sign of Scorpio. Now, in terms of everyday astrology, this could mean the idea that some kind of negotiations, perhaps if you had, maybe you're waiting on information from an insurance payout or a structured payment or an annuity or child support, alimony, insurance. I don't know if I said that before. Those negotiations may slow down, or they may cease altogether, or you may have to go back over some terms and conditions. Why? Because Scorpio deals with other people's monies. These are not monies that you make for yourself, you own, or you earn. That is the sign of Taurus or the second house. In addition, a lot of times when Mercury retrogrades into Scorpio, lots of secrets can come out. So if you've been paying attention to the what's happening up in Washington with all that damn foolishness, like that one lady in California, that representative who resigned because it came out that she not only had inappropriate sexual relations with one person, but she had them with 2 people in during her campaign, and she just won that seat. So anything related to sex, greed, corruption. So you can expect these secrets to be revealed. I've even seen it show up when someone has died under mysterious circumstances, that some new information will come to light. And so just kind of be prepared for that. As I always explain to you, do not be afraid of the Mercury retrograde. You can't stop living life when planets are in retrograde, and they all retrograde at some point. And so you just need to know exactly what sign they're going to be retrograding in, and that's going to kind of give you the theme of what you may be dealing with. But anytime a planet is in retrograde, that gives you the opportunity to rework, revise, redo, rethink, retweak, revisit, whatever you've been working on. So if you've got some projects going on, or you got something where you may want to approach some people about perhaps giving you some money or funding you for a project, and you had to put it to the side, now would be the time to drag that back out and go over those things again before it moves forward. In addition, we also have the sun opposing Uranus. The sun is it in also in Scorpio? I believe it is. It is, and it will be opposing Taurus in the sign of Cancer. Now, the sun illuminates things. So again, happening in the house of Scorpio, is going to be perhaps the thing we'll be dealing with: sex, taxes, insurance, other people's finances like that, as opposed to your own finances. So this could be the idea that all of a sudden you may discover where all of your money's been going. Your money's been trickling through your hands like water. Taurus and Uranus and Taurus brings about sometimes an upheaval in your own personal finances. This could be due to perhaps changes uh, in your job, or in your, what do you call it, your investments, maybe in the way that you donate money to charity. So it's those kinds of things. And we still have, oh, that damn Neptune is still retrograde in the sign of Pisces. That's going to be changing soon, but you know, and we're going to be coming up on the big conjunction of Pluto and Saturn. Right now they're sitting in Capricorn. They're sitting 5 degrees apart right now, and you can kind of say that's a conjunction, but I like to keep conjunctions down between to 1 degree. So right now, you on the 30th, Mercury will, on the 31st, I'm sorry, which is Halloween no less, in the sign of death, which is Scorpio. And death is just an ending and a new beginning. They will be conjunct. Mercury and Venus will still be conjunct. Mercury at 27 degrees, Venus retrograde. Mercury, okay, let me say that again. Mercury will be retrograde 27 degrees Scorpio, but Venus will be sitting at 28 degrees. Venus rules partnerships. It rules legalities. It rules, so expect some legal issues. Some of you have been dealing with legal issues. Expect things to crop back up, or things to slow down, or expect there to be a change in terms and conditions. Venus also brings about harmony and beauty. Everything wants, you have to convince people why it is that you want them to come in on this deal, or why it is you should, get together and do these things. So it would really behoove you to try and go back over some things, that particularly if it's going to be about your finances, because we have this 7-year transit of Uranus through Taurus, and that's going to create a lot of upheaval for some people in terms of their personal finances. That's just the truth of the matter. I'm giving it to you straight. And so we also have Mars, who is a ruler of Libra, sitting in the sign of Libra. Mars can bring speed, heat, anger. Let's see. Pluto, yeah, both Saturn and Pluto are squaring this Mars. So this could be power plays. This could be people fighting dirty, people trying to maintain control. This could be lashing out. On the positive side, this could be, I don't know, falling in love and having hot, passionate sex. I don't know. It could be any number of things. Even though the 7th house of Libra is not a house of sex, but this could be meeting someone who's quite powerful sexually that you're very, very attracted to. Maybe you want to, the flip side of Pluto, you want to hang on to that person. So it could be a lot of things. And keep an eye out on stuff that's happening in your job, for your friends, in everyday life. You'll tend to see those patterns play out. If not you, then somebody that you know, or somebody through 6 degrees of separation. So with that being said, I want to give a quick warning. I'm waiting on the refrigerator guy to show up, because my refrigerator wasn't working. Now it's working, and it's freezing everything, and it's continually making ice, even though we've turned the ice maker off, and I can't move it to turn the water off, because it's just huge. It's humongous. And so if the person knocks, I'm going to have to stop what I'm doing. So that's the warning that I'm getting out. I'm trying to slowly but surely getting back to my normal schedule and routine. I still have lots of work to do here in the house. There's still some painting, putting together furniture, putting up shelves. I still have a lot of work to do. We spent the weekend in the yard getting everything ready for the winter, final trims, treatments, planting of some bulbs, grass cutting, things like that. So, oh, Don't forget, website members, that the Pay What You Want is going on. The bookings start today. And I won't be taking them much longer because I'm going to be opening them up to the general public. For those of you who are not website members, if you're interested in the Pay What You Want, it is simply where you get to ask me one question, and I will pull a spread, pull cards on that for you, give you that information, and you donate. The minimum is $5. You donate to for that particular reading. So that's what's called Pay What You Want. And it's a way for me to kind of give back to some of you who may not be able to necessarily always afford readings, or you may have something that comes up right now. You can get in. If you've never had a reading with me, this is your opportunity to do so. To get a reading with me, to see if you like my stuff. You're here, you must like the way that I read. So, if you've never had a reading with me, this will be your opportunity to do so. So that is already open. Some of you who have already posted your bookings, I have not answered you back to confirm, but I will be doing so later today. And so that's pretty much it. So we're going to be using the Prisma Visions Tarot today to take a look at the energies that are coming up for this week, the final week of October 2019. The Queen of Cups. The Tower card. The Two of Swords. The Two of Pentacles. The Four of Swords. The Knight of Pentacles. Isn't that interesting? The Five of Swords. Wow, look at that. 2, 4, and 5. Huh. The Three of Pentacles. So this is obviously some kind of conflict between what you think and what you're doing, or what you think you should be doing. Okay? And then the Eight of Cups. Isn't that something? 3 swords, 3 pentacles, 2 cups, and a major arcana card. And there's our Saturn energy, the Devil. Well, well, well. So I have 2 court cards here because, which is, I'm sorry, the Queen of Cups and the Knight of Pentacles. But I have 2 twos here. 2 twos speak of some type of engagement, marriage, and or commitment. 2 twos speak to the need for changes in harmonious communication. Swords are thoughts, perceptions, belief, ideas, and communication. We know that Mercury, the planet that rules communication, is going to be going backwards. The Pentacles rule, yes, your finances, but they also rule your physical surroundings. They speak to having a roof over your head, shelter, food, clothing, water, all of the things that you need in order to be safe and secure. But they also speak to the physicality, the doing of some things. The cups simply represent the emotional quotient here. Now, having this tower at the very top of the reading is quite, uh, I don't want to say ominous, because I don't like to frighten people, but it gives me a bit of pause for concern, simply the way that it presented itself. Um, past, present, future, interplay of the cards. The Queen of Cups. Now, either we're dealing with, this reading is specifically for a water sign, um, Cancer, Scorpio, and or Pisces. If not a water female, then this is someone who may be, let's just say, a nurse, or someone who's in counseling, or it could be a mother. It could be someone who's got those soft kind of qualities, but could also be the idea that you are at the moment caught up in your emotions. Okay. And this reading is going to be for same-sex, heterosexual, um, whatever the case may be. Even if you are a male watching this, you too can have emotions like the Queen of Cups. This is really about being in touch with the feminine side of yourself. I get the idea, the feeling that something unexpected, well, that's what the tower is. It is unexpected, an unexpected event. Something that you have no way of planning for, something that there was no way that you could see it coming, that you knew it was coming. It just, like a bolt from the blue, comes out of nowhere. I have seen this card sometimes show up when it is speaking about a sudden insight or some kind of clarity, that eureka moment, that aha moment. But I've also seen it show up when someone has had a big emotional outburst. What I'm getting, whatever this event, and this is definitely an event, okay, and this event is either precipitated by some kind of message or news. For some of you, it may have to do with your work and your career and or your finances. For others of you, it could be literally the idea that whatever this tower is speaking about, it shakes you to your core. Those solid foundations that you've had are no longer standing, because that's what the tower represents. It represents the crashing down of all of those structures that you've been clinging to. But what happens through that total destruction is you get an opportunity to rebuild. Why? Because now the ground is clear. Everything's been collapsed and the ground is clear. But we see here with this Two of Swords, some not knowing what to do. I get the sense that for some of you, this is the idea that whatever this tower represents, it literally like causes you to sit down and you don't know what to think. You don't know what to say. You don't know if it's true or not, right? But you know that something has to be done. Twos always represent oppositions or obstacles, but it also represents choice, being at a crossroads, okay? You're trying to determine what it is you need to do. Now, with the two twos, as I say, to me, this speaks to some kind of partnership issue. Um, it's the only, what do you call it? Repeater number that I have. The Two of Pentacles, there's two options. There's two things I can do. I can try to fix it by juggling both things at the same time. But yet I still see you sitting on the wall. You're not quite exactly sure. You're not really doing perhaps what you should do. Maybe your energies are scattered and you can't. So here comes this Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is saying that you need to take a rest. You're going to have to be able to recover from this Tower card. And that at some point, the Knight of Pentacles comes. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest knight in the deck. But you can rest assured that when he shows up, he's going to be bringing you good news. Okay, and it's typically something that you've been waiting on for a long, long time. I do get the sense that this is that kind of Mercury in retrograde, but also Sun opposed Uranus aspects that are happening here. The Knight of Pentacles says that things are going to change. He brings in movement. All nights represent movement to me. Okay. Traditionally known as a message, but for me, nights always they are events. Those events are put into motion by some kind of message, some kind of news. Now, for some of you here, whatever this night brings in, it's going to cause some discord. It's a Five of Swords. This could be arguments. This could be fights. This could be gossip and scandal. Maybe you remember when I said like this Tower comes in, and like when you hear the message, the news, you don't even know what to think about it, right? And I'm talking to you about some secret maybe coming to light. But you know, you can always choose how you want to battle, or if you even want to battle. Sometimes the Five of Swords is seen as a victory card, but it also is a warning that you need to be careful, because the truth of the matter is, if there's no fire here except for the Tower card, that if things get out of control, that people will stoop to any level to win, and that in the end there are going to be no winners at all. If this is about standing up for yourself in a dispute, you may have to do that. And what I get next is this Three of Pentacles. In the traditional tarot, or in the Rider-Waite deck, we see the three people standing together, one on a bench, two people up below. Here we have one person. And this one person is building his thing all by himself. Okay? He's building it all by himself. This card has just a few of the, I don't know if you can see those. There's like some sparklies, like some glitter. This card is covered with the glitter all around the unicorn here. Maybe that's what that is, the unicorn, the mythical creature. But this to me is this idea that whatever this thing is, you're going to have to go it alone. You're going to have to. And maybe what the Knight of Pentacles is saying is right now you don't see a way to do that. Why do I say you're going to have to go it alone? Because here we have the Eight of Chalices. Somebody walking off into this vortex of whatever this is. Swept up. But yet saying or determining, you know what? It doesn't even really matter, because I'm going to have to go it alone. This odd row of swords, this is all an ice kind of an energy. So this to me is like distant communications, harsh communications, communications that are removed from emotions, rather clinical, matter of fact, and to the point. Why? Because now the truth has been revealed. Everything has come crashing down. Now you can see it. But you're going to have to take a rest from this. And why do you have to take a rest? You're going to have to take a rest because you're going to have to get up and fight. And then after this fight, this battle is over, you're going to have to build it alone. And I dare say, even for some of you, you're going to even have to walk away from that. Now, I want to take a look at the pip cards. Two of Swords, Two of Pentacles, Four of Swords, Five of Swords, Three of Pentacles, Eight of Cups, as they relate to the Tower card. Hopefully it's going to tell me something. I have noticed as of late that the cards have been rather not very forthcoming. They're really making me work. Now, with swords, it is telling you to remain open and receptive to loved ones as they have the best intentions at heart and their advice is feasible, viable, and comes from a place of love. It is also telling you not to cut yourself off or avoid your loved ones. Do not reject their offers of help. It may be an indication that victory will be achieved despite hardships and setbacks through hard work and the cooperation of others. I don't see that. I see that people don't want to cooperate. Remember, we're dealing with that Mercury and Venus and Scorpio as well. I don't see that. But maybe what somebody or a loved one has said to you has hurt you in such a way and it collapsed all of your walls that you had built up. But they did it out of love. With Pentacles, it is an indication that financial issues will improve dramatically. It may also indicate that you are valued and appreciated by others. No, that may be so. But here's this Eight of Cups. That doesn't give me that. So let's take a look at that. That's not saying that it's not possible. This is a general reading. And, not everybody has the same situation going on at the same time. Two of Pentacles. Any five before and after. Remember, this is what I said. It implies that your energies are being scattered, leading to undue stress and confusion. Slow down, relax, and think carefully about each step you take at this time and allow things to flow as they will. Have faith. And this could be the gathering of resources, but resources are not just the money that you make or the things that you own. It's all of the skills and knowledge that you have to bear, that you can bring to bear on the situation. It talks about steady, hard work, plotting one foot in front of the other, and eventually you're going to arrive there. Will it be easy? No. The truth of the matter is, nothing worth having is really easy. Okay? If it was, you wouldn't value it. Four of Swords. At least that's how I view it. Four of Swords. Nothing about the Four of Swords. Five of Swords. Now, I will tell you, I have seen this combination of cards for the Tower with the Four of Swords to mean that there's like news of a breakup. But this could be a breakup in any way. Maybe the company that you're working for is breaking up. Why? The devil's here. The devil rules Saturn. Saturn is about your 10th house of career. Maybe some kind of merger falls through. So it could mean anything. Now, this is the Five of Swords. There's an influence here with the devil. It is indicative of careless spending, unwise investments, and financial hardships and distress. Be warned. Maybe that's why you're building that thing all by yourself. Three of Pentacles. Then I'm going to read to you the meanings of these particular cards. And they may not necessarily make any sense to you when I'm reading them. So take what you can, disregard what you cannot. Three of Pentacles with the Tower. It tells you to prepare yourself to make necessary changes to plans. Otherwise, there may be a loss in business or some other negotiation. Remember, that's exactly what I was telling you. See you building that thing all by yourself. And I dare say, again, some of you may have to walk away from whatever this deal is. Next to Three Swords cards. It may be an indication that some loss in business or finances is inevitable. You are asked to be prepared to make relevant and necessary changes. Here it is. It can also indicate a clash of personalities within a working environment or a situation that may bring about disagreements. and an inability to compromise. There it is. And finally, the Eight of Cups. Nothing about the Eight of Cups. So let me, I'm going to not read the Queen and the Knight. These are either people or situations, okay? So we're going to start with the Tower card. And what's so interesting is naturally in the tarot, the Devil comes before the Tower card. The Devil. There are many reasons to dwell in false realities. More often than not, it is out of sheer convenience. Life is not amazing, but it's comfortable. Maintaining the status quo is easier than confronting any deep-seated issues that are quietly eroding your sanity. The Devil is, in fact, a counterpoint to temperance. Something is out of balance, but you lack the courage or acuity to address it. To break the serpent's gaze means acknowledging where you truly are, and that can be discomfiting. Ask yourself if avoiding a harsh truth is worth living in a distorted dream world. Well, because I'm going to tell you what, nothing can bring you back to reality to face the truth of the situation like the Tower can. This suggests a sudden and unwelcome change after mindless self-absorption. Eventually, equilibrium will restore itself, like tectonic plates slamming into place. Be ready for it. Reap what blessings you can from this swift ruination. As amidst the rubble, there is a truth long rejected, and in a way, it will set you free. You have a chance to start anew on firmer ground. That's exactly what I was telling you. Two of Swords. Oh, my book is tearing up. No. Departing greatly from the cold clarity of the Ace, the Two of Swords is a warning against delusion and false reality. No matter how guarded you are, if you are blind to the situation at hand, you will miscalculate and blunder. Do not flinch from the truth, as it is often less dire than the many insidious realities your mind conjures up in the darkness. Do not let needless fears disturb you. Find balance. We see you trying to recover right here. Life's imbalance is its greater strength. The man that masters the back and forth motion, the perpetual movement, propels him into a steady, productive rhythm. Keep it all together by not paying too much attention to one thing. Accept that everything has its time and its place, and it is up to you to decide when it is time to move onwards. But I see you here. It's as though some of you are literally knocked to your knees. And I'm going to show you what I mean by that. The stillness of winter is the perfect environment for quiet, contemplative repose. Take this time to restore and reflect. Amass your strength and gain perspective and clarity. Lay your struggles aside for now in this moment of peace. Because honestly, whatever this is, you have no control over it. Now, you may have been trying to ignore that crap and hoping that something's not going to happen or that everything's going to be okay. But sometimes when the end of something is supposed to come, it comes, and there's nothing you can do about it. The Knight of Pentacles. Oh, that's the Knight of Chalices. I almost read that. Hold on. The Rise of the Pentacles. I said I wasn't going to read this, but I think you need to hear it. The Knight is a conflicted creature. Having attained no small degree of success, he grows dependent on the tokens that have carried him safely thus far. He no longer sees their interconnected beauty, merely their utility. He is fixated on furthering his causes. So this could be the character of the person you may be dealing with. I just got that. If you pull this night in a reading, know that you may need to back off a little. Take a broader view. Appreciate the magic that makes your lifestyle possible. Otherwise, you will face a Pyrrhic victory devoid of meaning or gratification. That's the news. The news comes in and some of you think, okay, yeah, I got this. But it devolves. Five of Swords. That may be why some of you have to walk away altogether. Confrontation is inevitable and can even be an honorable and upfront way to achieve one's ends. The two locked in combat are practiced warriors of this art, and their dance pays tribute to the intricacies of strife and competition. The Five of Swords, however, encourages you to lay down your weapons. When you pacify your anger, you may be surprised to notice a different path, that of equanimity and transcendence. Let yourself be soothed and follow the butterfly. See that one person? That's why I said you can choose where do you want to fight this fight, right? Or walk away from it. There's an old saying, he who fights and walks away lives to fight another day. And so maybe under this Mercury retrograde time, you're not supposed to engage. You're supposed to go back, reflect, review, revise, rework, and then come back and strike when the iron is hot. Sometimes that's what you got to do. And that's a Scorpion energy. Scorpios will hold grudges forever, and they like their vengeance best served cold. You be going on about your business, thinking about it, and then the next thing you know, bam, they strike out of nowhere. Sometimes they'll kill you right then and there, but a lot of times they just wait. Okay, Three of Pentacles. After the early stages of a project, there is a surge of pleasure in realizing you've achieved some tangible level of competency. Take pride in your work. Be meticulous and patient, giving credit to the noble endeavor you've underchosen to take. Likewise, as each brick supports its brother, this is a good time to interlock your plan with your visions. Let other people's input influence your own. This is a great time to build stability and trust. But I would dare say this is about building stability and trust within yourself, because it looks from the way these cards have fallen that there's somebody that you can't depend on. Okay? Because it ends with the Eight of Cups. As executed in the Tower, sometimes life can hand you a swift, unpleasant surprise. You may have realized that something very important to you, a central hub of your existence, is essentially meaningless. The walls come tumbling down, and a miasma of confusion comes swirling in, replacing structure and verisimilitude with chaos and uncertainty. The only answer is to leave it all behind. In time, the mist will part and reveal a midnight sky alight with stars. So basically, I think that this is something that I'm going to pull cards on this Tower. I'm going to pull cards on this Two of Swords and this Five of Swords. I'm also going to pull cards on this Knight of Pentacles. Remember I said pull back, you need to slow down? Slow down. The Tower card. The Dottore. The Lamante, female. And the Lamante, male. Now, the Dottore is typically a professional, somebody who can help. So there's obviously something happening between this male and this female lover. Same-sex or heterosexual. The Dottore. I don't know if this is actually a person or simply the energy of the Tower, because sometimes a Tower can be somebody who is quite unconventional. Two of Swords, the Yardro, the Sacerdote, and the Melancholia. Now, the Yardro is the thief. It speaks to theft of goods and services. The Sacerdote is a counselor or a priest or someone that you can confide in, but it also speaks to also the single man, but it also speaks to the idea of faith, belief, and hope. Yeah? So something happens here. I'm going to pull conjure cards on the Tower. The precious presence, a gift not unselfish, something that you're fighting over. It could be actual physical money, gifts, things of that nature. The stanza, here is the card of communication, but there's no one in the room. If you notice, there was a fight in that room. See how the curtains are torn, everything's all askew. And the La Nemica, the woman who acts in secret. Concealed anger, concealed hate, treachery. Remember I said, I think the Knight of Pentacles speaks to the person's character. Two of Clubs. Jack of Diamonds. King of Spades. This is exactly the same card as this. Okay? Let's read. This speaks to being at a crossroads. That's the first thing I said to you. It says, choose wisely the fork, as taking the wrong one can lead to disaster. This looks like maybe you meet somebody unexpectedly out of the blue. But there's something about the person that you can't discern. Maybe you've been blind to it. Maybe you've known it all along but refused to see it. Don't know. It says obstacles to success, malicious gossip, disappointment, and oppositions. Now this gives me 3 twos now. And 3 twos can speak to excessive flirting and cheating. Jack of Diamonds, an unreliable person, someone who is selfish and jealous and can be bad news. Self-serving and will put themselves first. Remember I said that was the character of the person. I said that. King of Spades. This could be your air sign male. But oddly enough, he could be a soldier, a doctor, a lawyer, a chef, a dentist. That could be his profession. He's a doctor. A scientist, perhaps. Air sign, I would say Aquarius. King of Spades. Possibly a light-complected or light-haired man with air predominating his chart. He is ambitious, he is self-centered and self-serving, and may bulldoze over everyone else if he believes he is right. If you are required to take this energy, even if you are the female or take the female role, it says make wise decisions, keep a clear head, and focus on balance. That has come out several times. Why? Because it's asking you not to be fooled. That's what I have for you. I hope those messages help. And until next time, namaste. Don't forget to pay what you want.